All right. This is being recorded, and we are now streaming live on Facebook. So I think we can get started. Welcome, everyone. This is a webinar that I'm really excited about with our friends from Homebot. We have almost, I believe, 500 clients at this point that has done a Homebot import of their past clients, of their current clients, of all of their seller leads into the Homebot platform. And we're seeing about a 40 to 50% open rate on those emails, a 20, 25% click-through rate. So those Homebot alerts are working really well. Your sellers are getting nurtured, and we couldn't be more thrilled with the integration we've done. What we want to do today is specifically talk to all of you that have done a Homebot import or are thinking about doing a Homebot import, and explaining to you the benefits of bringing on a lender partner into the relationship. So taking a step back, Ylopo has licensed the Homebot platform on the real estate side for all of our clients, right? Because you're all our real estate clients. For RESPA reasons, and of course, just kind of what Homebot, how Homebot makes its money is on the mortgage side. They have clients that are going to co-partner with you. So probably your co-marketing partners are on Ylopo, right? In order to get a lot more features. And the lender gets a ton of features. You guys get a ton of features. And I think it's a no-brainer, right? So we want all of you who are coming on the webinar to see those features right from the Homebot team. And what I'm going to kind of point out is different integration areas, that Ylopo and Homebot integrates on. So really excited about this webinar. Homebot team, do you want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Nina, and I run the inside sales team over at Homebot. So first of all, thank you so much for putting this together and having us on. I'm here with Mickey, who is our Director of Customer Success. So some of you may have already heard from her in the past, but she just makes sure that your systems are running smoothly.
Hey guys, so glad you're here. Let us know if you have any questions along the way or after this as well. We're here to help.
Excellent. So yeah, Nina, do you want to kind of get started introducing
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to share my screen and just make sure that you guys can all hear me okay. You can see my computer screen okay. We good?
Yep.
All right, perfect. So really just a quick overview and an introduction of the main purpose of this call again, right? The title of this webinar was Get More from Homebot by partnering with your lender. And as G just mentioned, the foundation of this company really started with Lenders First as a mortgage platform. But you all know, and what we very quickly came to find out is that their business doesn't operate without their real estate agent partners. So you're the bread and butter to their business, the success that they see, the repeat and referral business. And we want to help build those relationships. What we find with Homebot, for any homeowner out there that's currently receiving this from you, they have the best experience with our product when it's utilized not just by you, their real estate agent, but also that preferred lender that you work with. There's a lot of financially driven information in Homebot. So some of the items that you may be getting questions on right now from your clients, you're not quite sure how to answer that. You have to refer it off to one of your loan officer partners. Well, by branding with them and having them represented in that material, it's going to alleviate some stress, number one, for you, but it's also going to give that homeowner a bit more of an all-inclusive feel. So I always think the best way to start out with Homebot, even if you're very familiar with our system, is just to get that quick overview of who we are. Then we're going to dive into the product, talk about some of the features that you're used to seeing, and then embellish those on what it's going to look like when your loan officer is partnered up with you. Then I'm going to talk about Homebot for buyers. So a really interesting thing that's happening right now with the industry is that rates are low, and a lot of people are taking advantage of that by refinancing. So having that loan officer co-sponsored with you in your Homebot platform is going to help give you that gift of home finance to your database, drive conversations back to that loan officer. So when it comes time for that homeowner to sell their property and buy another one, they remember to come back to you. So we're going to talk about what Homebot for buyers looks like, which we know the purchasing season is going to be ramping up more so now than ever, because people that are refinancing right now, chances of them ever refinancing are slim to none with rates so low. So they're going to be buyers. So we'll go through that and talk about some of the features within your system, and G will just interrupt me and point out some other features as well as we go. And if common questions come up, happy to answer those. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump into who we are and why we created this platform. This statistic is always our starting point. This is our foundation of the product and why we really created this for the real estate industry. 83% of the average homeowner's wealth at retirement is wrapped into their home equity. Now, you know this being in the industry. I know this working from Homebot, but the chances of your clients knowing this is very slim to none. People are used to hearing about their 401k and their savings plans. We've got so many different online systems that we can go to track that growth and wealth over time, talk to our financial advisors, make sure we're making sound decisions. But when it comes to the equity that people have in their house, which usually is the largest asset that somebody owns, well, who's in charge? It's left up to your homeowners. What we know about homeowners is that not everybody has the information or the knowledge to know when they should be making certain home finance decisions. So as I mentioned earlier, historically low rates right now, we're in a refi boom. A lot of people are taking advantage of that. But for you as real estate agents, you may have some homeowners that aren't thinking about refinancing. They're thinking about how to maximize their dollar if they're ready to buy a new house because rates are so low. So we share these ideas with them through their Homebot report that gets delivered to your clients through Ylopo. And for that homeowner, it's a very easy financial report on their house that's going to tell them, here's how much your house is valued at, which is what everybody wants to know. But what they really need to know is how much equity they have. From their equity position, Homebot will then teach them all of these other amazing home finance decisions that they could be taking the opportunity to save more money over time, build more wealth over time, ultimately become a smarter, savvy homeowner and a potential future buyer or a new buyer. So we refer to Homebot as a client for life portal. What we mean by that is having these people in a system that is getting delivered to them and nurturing them about all of these decisions ensures that they're going to come back to you to have those conversations. We don't want them getting out, lost on the internet and Googling on their own and trying to, figure something out when they really should be coming back to you, their trusted advisor, to have those conversations. And then again, as I had mentioned earlier, because so much of it is financially driven, having that lender partner with you is just going to be such a key piece. And it's really going to put the cherry on top of the ice cream to make sure that they're getting the full package and they're being well taken care of. So client for life portal for you, making sure that these people are coming back to you time and time again. So before I jump into the product, I'm just going to pause here for a quick second. G, any questions or anything that's come up or that you want to point out before I dive into the product and show what that lender piece is going to look like as well?
Yeah. So just in case, people have to leave, how do they contact you guys, and what's the kind of website or landing page they should go to?
Absolutely. On the user side right now for your clients?
No, well, on the user side and also just to kind of get their lenders to sign up both.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about those lenders and how they get signed up. So on our main website, homebot.ai, so if you can all see this in my browser, homebot.ai, we do not expect you to be the educator for your loan officer. That is our job. That's my team's job. That's what we love to do. So if you are sharing this with your loan officer, something that you're going to want to do is have them come to our website, homebot.ai. They can do two things. They can choose loan officers right here, and they can either watch a recorded overview video, which is about a 20-25 minute demo going through the product and how it works for the loan officer. They can also book a demo directly with our team, and we will walk them through the platform there as well.
Awesome.
Perfect. Anything else before I dive into the product and show everybody what it looks like? Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to present Homebot from the real estate agent side, but how it integrates with your loan officer. So Wendy, for all purposes today, is our real estate agent. So Ylopo has loaded her clients into her account, and they're now getting Homebot from Wendy. Of course, as we all know, the sticking point to Homebot are those estimated home values. Everybody wants to know what their house is worth. So your clients may be asking you about their home value, having those conversations for you to pull comps if they're thinking about listing their property, or as we all know, homeowners always have an opinion about what their house is worth. And that's not a bad thing, right? We want them coming to you to have that conversation because you're their trusted advisor. That relationship should be staying with you. So this is going to drive a lot of conversations. When it comes to their home equity, we show that homeowner the calculation there of their equity and how we got to that number. So we pull this mortgage detail from public records. And if homeowners don't agree with any of that detail, just know that you may be seeing that they're updating their loan balance, maybe they're changing some detail on their mortgage information. But we really want, with that home value to be accurate, also their home equity to be accurate, because that equity piece is really what sets the rest of this information up for success. So if that client of yours, that homeowner, is talking about their home value with them and they see this little information piece right here about how their market is quickly picking up, they can learn about their market if they're thinking about selling it. Demand is picking up. What does it look like over the past year of what your area has done? What are homes on average selling for that are priced around your house as well? So again, all conversations coming directly back to you, their real estate agent. So anything that's real estate driven is going to drive that conversation with you. Now, as your clients are scrolling through their Homebot report, we have highlighted a couple of features recently called What's Important Now. We are doing this simply because as people get Homebot on the regular basis, they may think that they know what's in the report. Maybe they don't have time to scroll through the whole thing, but we still don't want them to miss out on those opportunities to save some money or know what's going on. And these are climate relevant conversation starters. So these will shift as market shifts. Right now, a lot of people are taking advantage of refinancing. This is where your loan officer is going to come into play. If your clients continue to scroll through, in this refinancing section, we are showing them where their money has gone up to this point in their loan. Now, I remember very vividly being at the closing table when I bought my first house and seeing that big amortization schedule and how much money is going to go towards principal, how much is going to go towards interest, and thinking, oh, I'm going to do such a good job at trying to pay down that principal fast. Well, you kind of forget about it after a couple of months as a homeowner, right? That money comes out of your bank account. You really don't think about it anymore. So when they're given these numbers, they're saying, holy cow, I'm paying way more in interest than I am principal. I need to do something about that. So we, again, don't expect you to be the expert here. If your clients are seeing this information and they want to dig into any of these available options, this is where that preferred lender is going to show up to be that guide, to be that trusted advisor that you recommend to work with and help them through that conversation. So they can learn a little bit about it here, but all of the features in Homebot are not overwhelming. We keep it very easy for your clients for a reason. We want to empower them to start having those conversations with you so they feel like they know what they're talking about. So we get them to a point enough where they know that this could benefit them. That's when they have the opportunity to pick up that phone and call your loan officer. So Wendy here is working with Nina, and her clients can call Nina, the loan officer, to have that conversation. They can also ask questions through Homebot, and it'll go directly over to that loan officer as well. So just know that by having that loan officer there, it's going to now give them somebody to say, oh, I can ask a person a question and start talking about this. This is fantastic, because they may wonder, why is my real estate agent sending me refinancing information? Do they do that as well? I don't know. So who knows? It could be causing them to shy away from having that conversation. So here you are just saying, hey, I recommend Nina. She's a trusted lender to talk about these interest rates and what you all could be doing to save money. So right now, this is just a huge conversation starter for your homeowners, giving them that option to save money. Again, they may not always be buying and selling, but they always want to save money. Who doesn't? So refinancing is huge when it comes to that partnership with your loan officer. Also providing these tips like paying into principal, paying that mortgage off faster, becoming a smarter, savvier homeowner. People really just think about the dollar savings here, but what I find fascinating are the years that you can shave off of your mortgage just by paying $200 a month. Maybe somebody got rid of a car payment. Maybe they have even $50 that they can put into their principal. They're still going to save some money and time, and who doesn't love that? As they come through into this purchasing section, of course, this relates back to you, the real estate agent, and we're going to tie into the buyer's platform from this piece. So I'm going to come back to this in a second, but remember, getting your clients to think about the future. So here we're just using a portion of their equity as a down payment to let them know you could afford a new house. You could afford to buy an investment property. If they don't have enough equity in their home, don't worry. We're not going to mislead them and show them this information. Our system is smart enough to do that. But if they have built up enough equity, they've been in that house for some time now, and they're ready to move, they could start having that conversation with you. So we're going to come back here in a second to segue into buyers. But a few other pieces where your loan officer is also going to tie in is tapping into their home equity. Things are changing right now. 2020 has been a wild year, and who knows, maybe somebody needs to use that equity to create an emergency fund, or we've all been stuck in our homes. Maybe they're ready to make some home improvements or add on some more livable space, right? If they have enough equity, let's talk to that preferred lender and see what we could do and make sound decisions. Of course, we're not suggesting that they use their home equity to go on a vacation. We're all really wanting to go on a vacation right now, but we don't want people using their equity ever to travel. Let's use it to create more wealth, like exploring investment opportunities, adding more livable space, eliminating credit card debt. But again, they'll have those conversations with your loan officers. And then the last piece, the opportunity, again, just to think about their equity in a different way, real estate in a different way, the opportunity to rent, make some extra revenue, put that revenue back into their real estate, reinvest it in themselves, pay that mortgage off faster, take a heck of a lot more time off of their mortgage as well. One of our employees, actually, her parents live in Sedona, Arizona, and this is their retirement plan, which I think is brilliant. They rent their house out, and when they take that cash or they get that revenue, they put it back into their principal to pay that mortgage off. So when it does come time to retire, they don't have to worry about a mortgage anymore. I think it's absolutely brilliant. So that's your homeowner side, something that you're all familiar with, but I just wanted to show you what it's going to look like with your loan officer. So again, just some key things to take away here. You, again, are always the primary brand. This is your relationship. That client knows you first and foremost. So when they have any questions, you're branded at the very top, at the very bottom, first and foremost. Anything that's real estate driven, they're going to come back to you. Anything that is financially related, that's where they're going to see your preferred lender, and they can reach out to them too. Did any questions come up on the homeowner side before I segue into the buyer side?
No, I don't think so. This is
Okay,
great.
cool.
I learned some stuff.
Oh, good. Well, and something too that I also want to mention is, when your loan officers have Homebot, we manage that system for them. So there's nothing that you all need to do or worry about. Am I going to have to help them get set up or share it with them? Remember, that's what our job is. That's what we do. But those loan officers are going to load their own clients into the system. And let's just say that they have a client that wants to talk about their home value, and that client doesn't remember the real estate agent they worked with. They didn't have a good relationship with them. They have you as a referral partner too as well. So this is a great opportunity for your loan officers to also refer some business to you if their clients don't have an existing relationship with their agent. So know that you may be seeing some of those conversations passed back to you, which is fantastic. So I'm going to segue into Homebot for buyers. So currently, if you do not have a loan officer sponsoring your account, you don't have access to this system. So this is really what's going to be the most interesting, I think, about this entire webinar is Homebot for buyers. Anybody as a real estate agent that's on our platform doesn't have access to this side of the system unless they're partnered with a loan officer. And the reason is very specific. So let's just say today, one of your homeowners is thinking about moving and they want to buy a new house. If they click this button, they have the opportunity to start their search now, again, if you're partnered with a loan officer. So when you start working with them and your homeowners hit start your search, they're going to be redirected into Homebot for buyers. So this is probably the first time that some of you may be seeing this. The reason why you have to have a lender partnered with you to get access to this side of the system is to benefit you. We want your clients to be searching in realistic terms when it comes to buying their next house. 60% of buyers are existing homeowners. So imagine the conversations that you're all going to start by having these homeowners now come into this side of the system. So that price point right here, what we're gonna do is just take what their current home value is and segue it in as this price point. If that buyer wants to play around with that number, change it on their own, use this calculator, or ask your loan officer to get pre-qualified, now they're gonna start to have that conversation with them and know what they can actually afford to purchase. So here is more market information than it is home value information. So Homebot will ask this buyer, what cities are you interested in? What's important to you? Is it more square footage? Is it a return on your investment? Are you looking at this as a rental? But this really is just an investor grade tool for these buyers to start to understand different markets that they may think about purchasing a home in. So we'll compare those cities. This is all by zip code. So you can see here that I've got 3 zip codes. And as a buyer, I can start to compare, where can I get more square footage for that dollar amount? Where can I get a cheaper purchase price? Maybe you're working with people that are renting and they have a timeline that they're up against as well. So they may have a specific time frame that they want to move by, or you've got homeowners that, I know a lot of families, they don't like to move during the school year. So if they want to make sure that they move in the summertime, they may be paying attention to that timeline. Now, outside of this comparison, they can start to explore areas with our map feature. And I think this is probably one of the most powerful tools within Homebot.
Hey, Nina, someone asked what the source of all this data is.
Yeah, great question. So all of our buyers' data comes from a company called Altos. So they plug into many MLS platforms all over the country, scrub that data, and they come up with these buyers analytics for us.
Got it.
ALTOS, if anybody wants to look into it. So this map feature right now, if you guys can see, I'll move it kind of centered here. I'm in the greater Denver area. And I love this map. It's actually really playing into my personal life right now. When I moved to Denver 10 years ago, I wanted to be in the coolest neighborhood, right? So I was paying attention to popular markets. Is it a seller's market? Is it a buyer's market? These are temperatures here. So I want to be really clear about that. Sometimes people think that there are 80 properties available in this zip code. It's not the number of listings, it's a temperature. So the higher the number, the hotter the market. It's a seller's market. But if things like living in the hottest market is not important to you anymore, like it isn't for me, because now I have a family and 2 kids and I'm now more focused on living in a bigger house, now I can start to search for different areas and see where I can max out my square footage for what I can afford. Buyers get in their own way, right? We all know this. We think that we want to be in a specific area, but once we start exploring, we realize there's a whole nother world out here. So they can search by square footage, they can search by the cheapest purchase price, if they're looking into investments, again, if they want to move in a specific time frame. But let's just say that somebody's really focused on living in the biggest house. They click into a particular zip code. This is where that Ylopo integration is going to come into play. Your clients are going to be able to see those listings that are actually available so they can view those homes, and it's going to keep them in Homebot where they can start to see all of those properties and have questions or have conversations and questions for you as well. And for your loan officers that you partner with, they're going to have this exact same search functionality. So if their clients have questions for them, same with knowing what their house is worth, and that loan officer goes back to that client, they don't have a real estate agent, could be another conversation starter that they can bring back to you. Now, outside of that market map, a couple of other things, a lot of buyers don't think about the whole time frame when it comes to purchasing. So we're giving them a little bit of a plan here. If they want to move as quickly as possible, when could they expect to own that house, depending on what getting pre-qualified looks like, searching, and close. If they've got that lease coming up and they want to move in a certain time frame, or again, if they just want to move, right before the summer starts, when do they need to start this search with you and with that loan officer, getting pre-qualified and making sure that we're working within a time frame that they need. This is my favorite visual in Homebot. How do interest rates affect affordability? I think this is just so powerful for a buyer to understand that now is the time to buy. So, I think I had mentioned earlier, when rates really started to drop in the springtime, my first thought as a homeowner was, I should probably refinance. But then I started talking about it with my husband, and truly, because of Homebot and this graph, more than anything, we said, well, why would we be refinancing when we can buy a house today that this time last year we could only get about $638 for, and now we can afford $700,000 worth of a home? This can push people into neighborhoods that maybe they were dreaming about this time last year. So again, for those homeowners that may be thinking about moving, this is such a powerful visual for them. And it works in the opposite way too, right? If those rates start to tick back up and their purchasing power goes down, well, we never know what's going to happen. That's real estate, right? And that's what happens with the market and the economy and what's going on. So this could be a way to say, Rates are low, let's do it now, or rates are creeping back up, let's do it now. And then the last piece is the same Airbnb functionality that they have right now today with the homeowner side, but now as a buyer, they have the opportunity to really be in control of that address. They can type in any property here that they'd like, and they can see what that revenue on renting their home may look like. Again, if they've got an accessory dwelling unit, if this is an investment opportunity for them, or if maybe they travel for work when they're able to do that again and they want to rent their house out from time to time. So investor grade tool, looking at market information for your buyers to really just give them a way bigger package than home search. We all know people just want to look at properties, right? I'm doing that right now as well in that buying process. I want to see homes that are available, but there's so much more than just searching for a property. It's understanding the market, it's knowing the right time to purchase, and it's having those conversations with you and with your preferred loan officer to make sure you're making the most sound, effective, and cost-saving decisions. So that's the buyer side. Any questions that came up, or G, anything that you've got questions about?
Yeah, in terms of branding, where would the lender show up on the buyer side, for example?
Yeah, great question. So you may have noticed here, it really is primarily the real estate agent, because the loan officer is going to get pre-qualified. They're going to help with that closing, but you spend the bulk of time with these people. And I always joke around with my real estate agent. She's really more of a therapist to me than anything else. And I'm sure you all feel the exact same way. So most of your image, your name, your phone number is going to be on the buyer's report when it comes to interest rates and how they affect your affordability. This is where the loan officer would show up here. So if they've got any questions about, hey, rates are low, what do we think is going to happen? Maybe they want to talk about forecasting. They can see the loan officer there, or if they want to, again, get pre-qualified, that's where the loan officer shows up. So two places on the buyer side, but again, primarily the real estate agent's branding.
Yep, makes sense.
Cool. Anything else there before I go into the platform and just show a couple of features, and then just a reminder for everybody to how to get that loan officer started?
Yeah, no, please go on.
Okay, cool. So now I'm going to go back into the management side of the system. So if some of you have logged into your Homebot account, you may have seen some of these features, and yeah.
Actually, yeah, Nina, let me talk about the login process for a
second.
second.
Yeah, totally. Go for it.
So every Ylopo client has a Homebot login, right? And the way it works is we use the email address that you gave us to set up your STARS account to be the email address associated with your Homebot account, right? If you don't know which email that is, just email support. They can provide it to you. And when you go into Homebot, there's actually a link in Mission Control where you can click on, under marketing, you can just click visit Homebot, or you can just type in homebot.com and go to login. Either way, if you put in the email address that is the email address you use for STARS, you should be your primary email address, and press submit, there is a link there that says get magic link to log in, right? So once you click on that, you're going to get an email with the login. You can log in, set a new password, do all that kind of stuff if you want to, right? And you'll be able to configure everything that you're seeing here. So yeah, so just kind of be aware we've already created all of this for you. You just need to contact us to get it.
Perfect. And your clients are all getting loaded through Ylopo as well. So you guys don't have to lift a finger for that. So who doesn't love that? Somebody that's taking care of it for you. I think that's just genius. Now, if you have logged into your Homebot account, you may have noticed that you have an activity feature. Let me just make sure my screen is going to load here. But this is super powerful to know that the system is working for you. And, I think G had mentioned in the beginning, the open rates and the engagement rates with Homebot are outstanding, right? People become addicted to this thing. They love it. They look at it. They've got those questions for you. So I'm sure that you're already seeing emails come through from your clients. Maybe somebody's picking up the phone and calling you to talk about it. But I would encourage you every now and then to come in and check out that activity, see what people are actually looking at. This behavioral data is so powerful. It takes it even a step further. Even somebody that's just viewing this report is worth a phone call, checking in, see how they're doing. Holidays are coming up. You can always just say, hey, I was just thinking about you. But if you know that they were looking at Homebot, chances are a conversation could probably lead into that. And then they're going to say, hey, this thing's really cool. Let's talk about it. you can open up that report right alongside with them as well and look at it in real time and make sure that you're all looking at the same information together. Now, when it comes to working with that loan officer, I do want to review pricing with you all because I know that your accounts are serviced through Ylopo. And so when you're having these conversations with loan officers, they may ask you, well, what does it cost, right? So for a loan officer to be on Homebot, they have to be, if they're going to be working with you, they have to be on our pro plan. So loan officers can get it for a cheaper price point, but they don't have the opportunity to work with real estate agents. And 70% of our loan officers are on the pro plan partnering up with their agents because they see that value there. So Homebot Pro for lenders to be partnering with you is $200 a month for them. They get their own account up to 1,000 clients in their database. So again, remember, if they're loading up to 1,000 clients and some of those clients don't have a real estate agent, that's another way that you can say, hey, if you've got anybody that's not working with somebody, send them my way. I'd love to have those conversations. And they should. $200 a month for them, 1,000 clients. They can use some of our other integrations and features that we offer for loan officers. So Mortgage Coach, BombBomb, or some scenarios. If you hear of a loan officer that uses those systems, know that they can do that as well. But then they can also start to partner with you too. Anytime that a loan officer is partnered with a real estate agent, we've got to make sure that we are staying compliant. So the loan officer will then pay an additional $25 a month for sponsoring you and being branded in your material. So if they're on it themselves, they're partnered with you, they're at $225 a month. And again, we don't expect you to have to educate them on Homebot. Have them come directly to our website, homebot.ai, book a demo with us. We will walk through the platform. But if you've already had that conversation, or maybe we have already talked to them in the past and they say, oh yeah, I know Homebot, I just haven't done anything with it yet. Well, all you need to do is go into your account up in your co-sponsor tab and you can invite them. So right now, Wendy is being sponsored by me, so I show up here. But if everybody goes into their account in the co-sponsor tab, that's where you'll be able to invite that preferred lender. And if you want to email our team, sales@homebot.ai, and let them know or let us know, hey, I just invited my loan officer, copy that loan officer as well. More than happy to jump on a demo and answer any questions that they have. We are also waiving the setup fee for loan officers. I should mention that too. So who doesn't love that? Something else that you can save or show them on cost savings, $200 a month for their plan. One-time $200 setup fee is the retail price point, but we love our relationship with you guys. We want to take care of you as well. We want you to look good. So you can say, hey, by the way, coming from me, Ylopo user, I can give you a coupon code that's going to waive your setup fee. So it's just Ylopo 200, super easy. Ylopo 200, if that loan officer wants to join right away and they don't even do a demo with us, they can use that code and that one-time $200 setup fee will come off. Ylopo 200, no space, one word, Ylopo 200.
And Nita, can there be more than one lender involved per agent?
There cannot. So you're only going to have one loan officer sponsor you in your account. And, that is a common objection, G, and thanks for asking that question that I get a lot, or just a concern with real estate agents saying, hey, maybe I recommend a couple of different loan officers to my clients, and, totally get that. My real estate agent did the same thing when I was buying. But the majority of people remember you. You're their trusted advisor. You're their therapist, again, as I like to refer to a real estate agent. So they have that relationship with you primarily. And after the honeymoon phase wears off, the chances of most of them remembering their loan officer isn't as high as them remembering you. So even if their best friend, their sister, their brother was their mortgage professional, their loan officer, but now they're seeing somebody different, most other people aren't going to remember, and they're going to say, oh, cool, I've got questions I'm going to ask this person. So yeah, one loan officer sponsoring their account.
Great.
So that's really all that I have. I checked off everything on my notes that I took to make sure to get through today, but did any other questions come up or anything that we should point out? Mickey, if you think I left anything out, I'm happy to stay on and answer as many questions as you need.
Yeah, so a couple of let me kind of summarize from the Ylopo perspective, but first off, I think what Nina went through at the very beginning here of just in general of all of the rich data and features that you see, using it can be daunting, right? And Nina, do you have I guess we have this recording, but do you have any kind of scripting related kind of recordings or documentation that shows how to use and present this data?
Yeah, absolutely. So on our website directly, if you wanted your loan officer to look into this, we have that whole overview. We also have training resources that are available as well. So I believe you can reach out to the customer support team at Ylopo. They should have all that documentation necessary. If there's anything you all need help out with, just let us know and let Mickey know, and we can make sure if you need scripts, if you need any sort of intel on how to present or answer questions, we can certainly help with that.
Yeah. So, and Mickey, how do our existing clients reach out to you if they have questions on transition or anything?
Yep. So you would email customer success at homebot.ai. I can chat that now for everybody. And we can follow up with an email with all that info.
That's great. Yeah. So, in terms of talking to these sellers, two things I would recommend. The first is that in every time a consumer engages with Homebot and sees Homebot, from their emails or another channel, we are going to send you a priority notification. Hey, someone is accessing your Homebot, right? And in that same priority notification is going to be a link to the Homebot report that this person saw, right? So just from a process perspective, in order to kind of walk your prospects through what's going on, you can give them a call and you can literally pull up the Homebot report and you can show them exactly what's going on, right? So that's kind of first and foremost. The second thing is, I know that Barry has done several videos already on exactly how to go over the Homebot report. You can reach out to support@ylopo.com to get that, but I would also just post in our YSC, hey, how is everyone using the Homebot report, right? And I think you guys are going to get a lot of great feedback on that, and we can even learn from that and collate it together so we can share with the group. So highly recommend that. And just kind of wrapping on what Nina said, I think there's a couple of reasons why you should bring your lender onto the platform, right? The first is they get their branding into the Homebot experience. That's huge. Right now the lender isn't branded at all, and all of the questions on that first page, other than one module, is all refinance related and loan related, right? So the consumer is going to be engaging with all of that content, and that intelligence is just not branded with a lender relationship, right? Doesn't make a lot of sense. The second is that your lender, once they're connected here, is going to receive alerts all the time of consumers that have done stuff in the Homebot experience, right? That again gives them the ability to know which of your people in your database to call and participate in a relationship about lending. And the more deals that they can pull out, even refinance deals from your database, the more they are going to want to contribute to or your co-marketing relationships with everything you do, including Ylopo, right? So it's another value add for them. The third thing is that the lender themselves can bring in their database as well and connect that with you, right? So you have potentially a tentacle going into their database and then pulling out opportunities as well, right? And then the last reason, of course, is all of the cool buyer information that exists within the platform that you're getting access to. It just makes their product richer and makes the consumer experience even more sticky, right? So for those things, I think a marginal, $200 a month that the lender pays, that your co-marketing partner pays, is not a lot, right? And that's why I think it's a bit of a no-brainer. So that's kind of my overall synopsis of this partnership. Let's see if there's any other. So so let me answer a couple of questions, and correct me, Nina, if I'm wrong. Someone asked, what if you are a loan officer? What if you are the loan officer and the agent? Do I have to pay extra to market myself as the LO? How does that work, guys? I do think so, right?
Yes, you do, because legally we will need your NMLS ID and put it in on all materials that are going out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, got it. And then can you have more than one, can the lender partner with more than one agent? Yes, they can, right? They can partner with whoever they want, just
They
like,
can partner, yep, with as many. We've got some that have upwards of 40 real estate agents that they partner with. It'll add on to their additional cost, and we make them aware of that. But yes, they can sponsor more than one agent.
okay, fantastic. My lender has partnered me with Ylopo. Is that cross country? Would he be paying more to integrate with Ylopo? Yes, he would pay the $200 a month to Homebot to access all the features that we just talked about.
Correct. Yep.
Yep. And okay. Okay, I'll just answer that question. Yeah, Dexter, you asked, is the database of the lender accessible to us, the agent? So in that situation, the lender has to allow the agent to see all those actions, but it is possible, right?
It would be a conversation that you would have with them. I mean, primarily, we don't see people sharing databases. And just know that this is actually a really great question. The lender doesn't have access to your clients either. They can't go in and see that you have 300 people in your Homebot account and start calling them. It's only if your clients in Homebot reach out to the lender and have a question that they then have their contact information. So just know that the lender doesn't have visibility to your clients. You don't have visibility to the lender's clients. But if you all are best friends and you want to hop on each other's systems and have that conversation with each other, none of our business, but you will not have visibility into each other's accounts. They're separate. But you're there to help each other and send out leads back and forth to each other if you want to.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. And I had this asked a couple of times. Basically, people are wondering, do you have what is free and what is being paid for, right? So let me just clarify. So Ylopo has licensed the real estate piece of Homebot for all of our clients. We're paying, we're paying it for you. We've licensed it for all of you guys, right? And so in order to access Homebot, where it shows you just the valuation of the home, all the mortgage data, everything, where it's a homeowner digest, on the real estate side, you get that for free, right? But there's all of these features that are associated with having a lender partner on the platform that you don't get access to primarily. And those are things that your lender would love to have, right? Lender branding, notifications when someone's playing with the widget, all of those features, right? And you also unlock a couple of features for the consumer that allows them to go deeper into market conditions and all that good stuff, which, if you missed it, we have this recorded. It's going to be on ylopo.com/media. So you can rewatch it anytime. We will send this out to everyone, right? So you can learn about all of those features. So, so realtor perspective, if you don't bring on lender partner, you're not paying for this. We highly recommend you bring on lender partner and, just get them on a demo, right? Have them watch it. And if they are not convinced, then they don't have to pay for it. But, I think once they see how rich the feature set it is, it's going to be a no-brainer.
If they're not convinced, I'm not doing my job. So
right. That's right.
let me handle that for you. Don't spin your wheels trying to wonder how to share this with them. We've got an amazing team in place to do that for you.
Awesome. All right. Well, once again, to contact Mickey, it's customer success at homebot.ai. That's on kind of more the support side, right? If there are some issues, if there's a lender that you already paid and isn't connected to your account, things like that. For Nina's team, if you go to homebot.ai, there's a loan officer section at the very top. You click on, I think, request a demo, right? Book a demo, and that's it. That's all you need to do. You can also do it in the back end of Homebot as well, but I kind of like how easy that loan officer demo is. So I'd recommend just sending your lender there. And for those of you that have attended, we're going to have the Homebot team just do a quick courtesy call to you guys as well just to see if there's any other questions they can answer. So, we'll just give them your whatever registration info you submitted to us. They'll reach out for either quick email or quick call. And, I think they can deep dive into any other questions you might have.
Absolutely. Yeah. You should probably expect that follow-up probably early next week. I would imagine somebody from our team will call you back and just see how this was. Was it useful? Do you have questions for your loan officer? We can get things scheduled on the calendar then as well for you if you'd like to. So thanks so much for having us on. And I think this is going to be really exciting to really ramp up Homebot even bigger and better than what you're currently using it for today. And, again, just to reiterate, purchasing is always upon us, and I think it's going to come back with a vengeance after this year. And people that aren't refinancing right now are probably thinking about buying. So being able to have access into that buyer's feature too, and having those conversations with your lender is only going to make those relationships that much stronger. So I really appreciate everybody staying on and listening and asking great questions.
Yeah, you know what? One more question that was good. Do you have? Oh, Mickey, you must have answered.
You're all set. Sorry. Okay, we do help with mass matchmaking. So we love doing this. Our sales team and BDRs around the country will help locate where you are and ask some of their loan officers that they've worked with if they want to partner with more real estate agents. So they'll introduce you guys, build that relationship, and you guys can connect through the app, or again, my team, customer success at homebot.ai, can connect you guys, no problem. So reach out to sales@homebot.ai. They're more than happy to help connect you guys.
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right. Thank you both. Really appreciate your time today.
Absolutely. Thanks,
you,
everybody.
everyone. Have a good one. Stay healthy.